What really makes the United States such an untouchable military power? Why, despite growing global tensions, does no country dare to challenge the US on the battlefield? These are questions that have surely crossed the minds of many, especially in a world where geopolitical threats are ever present. But what's most surprising is that, despite the advancements of other nations, the US remains a colossus that no one wants to face. Why? Today we are going to unravel this mystery and reveal the 11 key reasons why the military power of the United States remains unmatched. Reason 1. The highest military budget in the world. It's no secret that money is power, and when it comes to defense, the United States knows this better than anyone. With a military budget exceeding $600 billion a year, the US spends more on its military than the next 10 countries combined. But where exactly does all that money go? From research and development of cutting-edge technologies to maintaining a global network of military bases, the US defense budget ensures they are always one step ahead of any potential threat. Reason 2. A global network of military bases. Speaking of military bases, the US global network is one of the main reasons no one dares to challenge this superpower. With over 800 bases around the world, the US has the ability to project its military power to any corner of the planet within hours. This global presence not only ensures US influence in international affairs, but also acts as a powerful deterrent to any nation considering challenging its hegemony. Reason 3. Cutting-edge military technology. Technology is another fundamental pillar of American military power. From autonomous combat drones to radar-invisible aircraft, the US constantly invests in the development of technologies that maintain its edge over any potential adversary. But it's not just about having the latest technology, it's about how they integrate those innovations into their military doctrine to ensure they are always one step ahead. Reason 4. The most powerful air force in the world. When it comes to dominating the skies, no country comes close to the air capabilities of the United States. The US Air Force has more than 5,000 combat aircraft, many of which are fifth generation, meaning they have capabilities that other countries can only dream of. Additionally, the combination of fighter jets, strategic bombers, and drones allows the US to carry out strike operations anywhere in the world with lethal precision. Reason 5. The largest and most advanced Navy. Maritime dominance is another area where the United States simply has no rival. With 11 aircraft carriers in active service, more than the rest of the world combined, the US Navy has the ability to project power in any ocean on the planet. These aircraft carriers, accompanied by fleets of destroyers, nuclear submarines, and fighter jets, make the US Navy an unstoppable force at sea. Remember to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any content like this. Without further ado, let's continue. Reason 6. US Cyber Command. In the modern world, wars are not only fought on land, sea, or air, they are also fought in cyberspace. And when it comes to cyber warfare, the US is at the forefront. US Cyber Command is responsible for protecting the country's networks and conducting offensive operations against its adversaries. With the ability to disable critical infrastructures of other countries at the push of a button, the United States has demonstrated that it can dominate this new battlefield without firing a single shot. Reason 7. A professional and highly trained army. Another key factor is the US military personnel. With over 1 million soldiers on active duty and nearly another million in reserve, the US military is not only large, but also composed of some of the best trained soldiers in the world. Additionally, the US military is entirely professional, meaning that its troops serve by choice, not by obligation. This commitment and dedication ensure that the US military is always prepared for any challenge. Reason 8. A flexible and dynamic military doctrine. The U.S. military doctrine is not static. It is one of the most dynamic and flexible in the world. Based on the concept of network-centric warfare, the U.S. doctrine allows for the integration of different branches of the armed forces in joint operations that maximize their effectiveness. Additionally, the U.S. quickly adapts to new threats and circumstances, ensuring they are always one step ahead in any conflict. Reason. 9. A strong alliance with NATO and other allies. One of the greatest strengths of the United States is its network of international alliances, with NATO being the most important of them. This military alliance, which includes many of the most powerful countries in the world, ensures that an attack on the United States is treated as an attack on all its allies. This network of international support is a powerful deterrent to any country considering challenging the U.S., as they know they would not only face a superpower, but also a global coalition. Reason 10. Nuclear deterrence. Space has become the new battlefield, and the United States is determined to maintain its dominance in this area. With the creation of the Space Force in 2019, the U.S. has made it clear that it will not allow any other country to take the lead in space. The Space Force is tasked with protecting U.S. interests in space, from communication satellites to navigation systems and ballistic missiles. Dominance in space is crucial for modern military operations, as most communications, navigation, and intelligence gathering depend on satellites in orbit. Any disruption in these systems could cripple a country's military operations, and the U.S. is determined to ensure that this does not happen. The USS ability to defend and attack in space ensures that it maintains a strategic advantage over its adversaries. Additionally, space offers new opportunities for power projection. From weapons platforms in orbit to the development of new missile technologies, control of space will allow the United States to maintain its military superiority for decades. At the same time, the ability to conduct operations in space ensures that the U.S. can protect its interests and those of its allies against any threat that arises in this new and crucial domain. Reason 11. The willingness to use force. Finally, one of the most important reasons why no one dares to challenge the United States is its willingness to use force when deemed necessary. Throughout recent history, the United States has demonstrated that it is willing to intervene militarily anywhere in the world to protect its interests and those of its allies. From the Gulf War to interventions in the Balkans, Afghanistan, and Iraq, the U.S. has shown that it will not hesitate to employ its military power when necessary. This willingness to use force acts as a powerful deterrent to any nation considering challenging the United States. The combination of overwhelming military power and the willingness to use it ensures that any adversary thinks twice before attempting to confront the U.S. on the battlefield. Furthermore, the U.S.'s willingness to use force also sends a clear message to its allies and partners. They can count on U.S. military support in the event of a conflict. This guarantee of support strengthens U.S. alliances and ensures that it remains a dominant force on the international stage. The military power of the United States is not based on one thing alone, but on a combination of factors that make it virtually untouchable. From its immense military budget to its cutting-edge technology, its global network of alliances, and its nuclear deterrence, the U.S. remains a force that no one dares to challenge. And while the world is constantly changing, one thing is certain. As long as the U.S. continues to invest in its defense and adapt to new threats, it will remain the dominant military superpower on the global stage. So, the next time you wonder why no one dares to challenge the U.S. militarily, remember these 11 reasons. Because behind each of them is a story of power, strategy, and dominance that has been carefully built over decades.